Hello, Shiners. Happy Tuesday to you, friend. As I mentioned yesterday, I had to move our Monday night chat because we had baseball, and we have baseball again tonight. We actually went and watched we watched a game last night because the winner of that game we're playing tonight. So we kind of wanted to see who our competition was. So Quade's got baseball at 6:30 tonight, and so I figured I would just go ahead and pop on now, and then you guys can watch the replay and catch up later. So if you are watching the replay, which you probably are, just drop replay down in the comments so I know you watched. If you have any questions, let me know. For you newbies, every Monday night at 8:30, typically, unless life happens, I pop on for about 30 minutes and we talk about something. And the topics vary greatly. And so if at any time you have any questions or anything like that about anything that I'm talking about, or if you have any ideas of things that you want to talk about, then just shoot them down in the comments and I will answer them. So today we are talking about being intentional. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about this because we have so many things coming out this month and next month and probably the month after that. Like Scentsy has a ton of stuff lined up, and when was it World Tour? I can't remember, but I think right around World Tour, which was in February, they told us that for the season or for the year, they have 78 launches scheduled. So 78 new things not in the catalog that they're going to launch, right? Sorry, I'm so thirsty. So that is a lot of new product. And the more I listen to other leaders that are, really doing a ton of PRV, and by a ton, I mean like 5, 10, 15,000 and up PRV a month by themselves. They're being very intentional with what they're doing, right? And so it's easy to fall into not being intentional and just posting and going about our day, right? Just posting to post and like, hey, Star Wars is coming out. Hey, summer collection is coming out. Hey, Father's Day collection is coming out. Or, posting in our VIP groups just to say that we did something and moving on, right? Like following up with people just to say that we did it and moving on. So I'm going to go over a few things and ideas when I think about being intentional, and I definitely need to work on being intentional as well. More so than I already am, because there are some days where we do get kind of busy, at least I do anyway, and I'll do things kind of just to mark them off my list versus actually being intentional and thinking it through and what I'm doing. And I find when I do slow down and take a minute and think about what I'm actually doing and going to post about and all that kind of stuff and be intentional with it, then I have a lot better results. So in regards to LTOs, so being intentional with LTOs, which for newbies is limited time only or limited time offers. And so that means that they're not currently in the catalog. When they launch, like the Star Wars that we had launch today, once they sell out, then they're gone. Like they're done, and maybe they'll relaunch, like the Yoda, the Child Buddy. We had that last year sometime and sold out, and so then they made more, and now we relaunched it again. So usually it's like at least 6 to 8 months if they're going to relaunch something again. So for you newbies that have joined us, that is kind of how that works. That's what that means, right? So it's always very urgent, and get in and get your stuff as soon as you can kind of deal. Also, we find out when our LTOs or what is going to launch the Thursday before. So we usually always have launches on Monday. This one was a little bit different because May the 4th, we had to launch it on May the 4th, right? And we'll find out like this Thursday. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a launch on Monday. But this Thursday around 12 Pacific time, 2 to 3 Eastern, right around in there, we usually have a news article go up in the news tab on what we're going to be getting on Monday. And then that way you can start getting that information out to your customers. So being intentional, when we know things are coming in advance, it's good to drop hints. And I kind of mentioned this on my last live about dropping hints about stuff and just gaining some interaction and start making your lists of who likes what kind of stuff. So we know the Beauty and the Beast stuff is coming out soon, at least with Mrs. Potts and Chip. It's going to be sometime this summer, but we can go ahead now and just start dropping hints basically. So maybe you watch Beauty and the Beast one day with the kids, right? Post about that on your social media, on your Facebook page. Take a picture of the Beauty and the Beast screen and say something about, you know, who loves this movie? We're watching it for the millionth time today or whatnot, right? Maybe do like some this or that's. So you can make a graphic with the candlestick guy, right, and Mrs. Potts, and do like this or that and get some interaction that way because people love this or that posts. I did that with the wall fans for Spider-Man or Disney Princess. I did this or that, right? I didn't tell them anything was coming out. Well, they knew something was coming out, but I didn't tell them what was coming out or what the deal was. I just posted that, this or that, and people were commenting, right? Also with collections. Now, if you're brand new, this kind of doesn't apply to you, but will for later down the road. You can go back through your workstation if you were here last summer and look to see who purchased, for example, like the things from the last summer collection or like different wax collections. I have a few customers that love the surprise wax collections that we drop all the time. So I know that I can always text them and say, hey, we've got another, you know, wax collection. It's 5 bars for $25 or however much it is and whatever it is for the wax collection. Do you want me to grab you one? Right? So being intentional and thinking about that kind of stuff of who has, you know, who's bought those things before, who really loves those little wax collections, who really loves those bundles. A lot of people don't want to think about like exactly what kind of scents they like and bars and picking and everything. They want something pre-made, ready to go. Oh, I can get 5 bars like that and I know it's going to be spring and summery scents, which I really love. Let me have it, right? So text those people. With the Star Wars, anyone that purchased Star Wars stuff last year, I text all of them yesterday and let them know that they were coming out today, right? So instead of just, you know, posting, like just posting a flyer, like this kind of feeds off to the sharing versus selling live that we did last Monday. Versus instead of just like posting a flyer and being like, oh, this is coming out on Monday, right? Make it more fun, you know, put a little game or this or that, or, you know, drop your favorite. If we had, say something from Winnie the Pooh launch, right? Maybe you could do a post that says, drop your favorite Winnie the Pooh character. And it's just kind of gaining interaction, and you can see like people will comment, oh my gosh, Piglet's my favorite. I have Piglet everything, blah, 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 right? So then you know as a consultant, oh, well, we don't have a Piglet anything coming out. I'm just using it as an example. But you could be like, oh, we have a Piglet buddy coming out. So let me write Sally's name down because when that's going to launch, I'm going to message her and say, oh my gosh, Sally, you'll never believe this, but Monday we've got a Piglet Scentsy buddy coming, okay? Again, we don't have anything like that. I haven't heard anything like that. I just pulled that right off the top of my head for an example, so don't come at me about where is Piglet, okay? There's no Piglet. So if you have any fun or creative ideas like that in regards to LTOs and other stuff, like the summer collection and wax collections to where we could do teasers or whatnot, you know, drop them in the comments, let me know, post it in the group here, because I love it when we feed off each other's ideas. Let's talk about joining really quick. Shelly posted a really great post picture in the comments of that thread, the join thread that we have going on with different flyers to post about the $20 join special. And I did one of the same things last year too. And it's fun. She held up a $20 bill and took a selfie with a $20 bill and put something about joining for $20, right? So it's not just a flyer, it's like a selfie, it's you, it's your, you know, you're holding up a $20 bill. It just makes it a little more fun, a little more engaging, right? You can even do a this or that, probably, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, with the join thing too. You've probably seen the flyer with where it's just a warmer and then it's like the warmer and the bar and all the stuff. Like you could do with this or that, just with that, and say, which one would you rather have? Just a warmer or the warmer and the bar and the testers, right? Hosting. I want to give you an example of being intentional with that. Think about, keep your listening ears on, right? So when anyone tells me, if I follow up with them and they're like, oh, I really need to get some more wax, but just money's tight right now. They're telling you, I mean, that's a clue, a cue to say, well, why don't we just do a quick party and we'll try to get you that six pack of wax for free, right? Sometimes they'll say no. A lot of times they'll say yes, because they're not a consultant. They're not thinking about, oh, I can actually get free Scentsy. I don't actually even have to pay for it, right? And so listening ears, offering that. In regards to posting, instead of just posting, hey, I'm booking parties for, May, or I'm booking parties for April, have your last hostess take a picture of all the rewards they got and post that picture and say, guess how much my guess how much my friend paid for all of this Scentsy. Closest without going over gets a prize. Like, make it fun. And then you can turn that into, we did a quick party, we did a quick catalog party, or I gave her a referral, a rewards link, and she shared it with her friends and got the stuff for $10 or whatever the case may be. Just kind of being intentional and thinking it through just kind of makes you a little bit different than everyone else. Because especially if people have, and like everyone has a friend that's in direct sales, right? I feel like. And so instead of them just seeing like the same kind of flyers over and over again, just be creative with it. Be intentional when you're posting about it. Do something different to kind of get their attention instead of just having them scroll by. Commenting and messaging. So I sometimes will get sucked into just obviously scrolling on Facebook, as many of us do, but try to remember to try to catch yourself and be intentional with that time. So as you're scrolling through, if you've watched any of my Facebook social media training, I talk about the algorithm and how you have to comment on people and personally message people so more people will see your stuff. Okay, so if you're scrolling through Facebook and but you're not commenting on people's stuff, then they're not seeing your stuff and you're not seeing their stuff. Okay? And so whenever I start to scroll on Facebook, I'll catch myself and I'll scroll back and actually look to see who posted what and comment on those people. Okay? So like, and I'll just say this example too. If you're only commenting on Scentsy Consultants post, because we're all friends, if you're only commenting on that, then you're only going to see Scentsy Consultant posts. Well, that's not helping you build relationships with new people and new customers to get new hosts and new teammates and all of that kind of stuff, right? You're just building relationships with current Scentsy consultants, which is great, and you need that. And that's one of my favorite things about Scentsy is our relationship together. But make sure you also are paying attention to that, and that you're commenting and messaging people that are not Scentsy consultants, right? So being intentional there. I did want to mention about summer follow-up because I sent my manager over all of my vacation for this summer, and it was a lot busier than I thought. So like I'm taking off May 13th and 14th because Leah's got cheer competition in Orlando, so I'm going to be down there for 3 days. And then June 10th, I'm taking off because we're going to Universal to ride the new Velocicoaster that's opening on the 10th, so we're going to be there for opening day. So excited about that. Oh my god. There's supposed to be the actors from the movie and stuff that are going to be there at Universal on opening day. So anyway, okay. Moving on. Where was I going with that? Oh, June 17th through like that Monday or Tuesday is my Disney trip with Scentsy, so I had to take that off. July 19th, that whole week, I took that whole week for Scentsy Family Reunion. And so I was like, oh man, this summer is going to be really busy. And so when I was thinking about that, I was thinking about that is typical, that during the summer, people aren't home as often, and they're doing vacations and, just really busy with summer camps and all that kind of stuff, that your customers are definitely not thinking about Scentsy in the summer. Okay. So it's very super important that you're intentional with following up with them, to make sure that they have their laundry stuff and their cleaning stuff and their wax and all of that kind of stuff, because they're not thinking about it. They're not thinking about wax with everything else going on for the summer. So the last thing is just being intentional with your VIP group, and that's, where I spend a lot of my time is my VIP group. That's my moneymaker. And there's a lot of racket going outside out of my door. So I try to think of it. I don't know if you guys watch or listen to a lot of podcasts, but I listen to podcasts, and my favorite podcast, and That's Why We Drink, and it's a paranormal and true crime podcast. And so if you're not familiar with the podcast world, there's a thing called Patreon where people donate like $5 a month or whatever. That goes to the hosts of the podcast. And for being a Patreon donor, they get special perks, right? So they get, special videos just for them that's not released to the public, special, episodes. They get discount on merchandise. They get a special newsletter, like whatever the case may be, right? They get something that nobody else gets. And it's like, well, if you're a Patreon, you already know about this. And if you're a Patreon, you get this and blah, 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 blah. And so because they want people to donate, because then they have more money, right? So I try to think of my VIP group in that aspect, and just being intentional with that group and what I feel like it should be for. So I don't want my VIP group just to have a bunch of random people in there that I'm just trying to sell to. Like, I don't want to try to sell to anybody. Like, I want that group to be like my super close niche customers that, support me, right? So they're purchasing, they're donating, right? They're purchasing. And so they get special perks because they're a loyal customer. So then we play games and I give them prizes and, sneak peeks of stuff before anybody else sees it. And, we do like drawings and games and all of that kind of stuff that I don't do on my regular Facebook page. So just being intentional with your VIP group and what you want it to be. Like obviously you don't have to have yours that way. That's how I like to have mine. That's what I think about when I think about a VIP group. Okay, that's what I want it to be. So just being intentional with what you're using it for. Just like if you have a business page, you know, what are you, how are you running your business page, right? Even if you're just using your regular Facebook page to post about Scentsy, like, are you being intentional with how you post about it? Fun fact, so if I post something on my personal page, maybe I post maybe I'm posting a picture of my coffee, right? And saying something like, oh my gosh, I need all the coffee today. I make sure I've got some, maybe a wax bar sitting there, my Scentsy body cream. Like, I've got some Scentsy in the picture. Like, I'm being intentional with that picture. I just didn't randomly snap it and post it. I'm being intentional to show Scentsy as being part of my life at all times. So those are just some thoughts that I had that I was thinking about the past couple of days, especially with all of these LTOs coming out. And so I thought I'd add some other things with it and wanted to share that with you guys. So that's it. That's our Monday night on a Tuesday afternoon chat. Thanks for watching. I won't say hanging out because no one popped on, which is totally fine because it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So let me know if you watch the replay, if you have any questions or ideas or thoughts, and I will talk to you guys later. Mwah. Bye, y'all.